be and how vital they are to all of you, how vital it is to this process. The Mille Band of Ojibwe Tribal Government has asked us to serve as the moderator for the 2020 candidate forums, and I'm honored to be with you here today. The role of the moderator is to guide the forum in an impartial and professional manner. Miigwech for this opportunity. To start us off in a good way, I'd like to ask Marlene Helgamo to come up and give us a prayer so that we can begin our meeting in a good way.
Good evening. Oh, come on now. Let's do it again. Good evening. This is a good evening to gather. I always like to test the enthusiasm of a group by how they respond to good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. And when we come to church here on Sunday morning, I'll say, let them hear it down on Franklin Avenue with our response. So you're kind of almost there. So I'm Arlene White Rabbit Helgamo, pastor here at All Nations Indian Church, and we're very happy to extend hospitality to you every month because Mille Band meets here in one capacity or another. And I just love it when you come because you always have really good food. Anyway, I'd like to just offer up a prayer for all of you. Well, you can get smudged as we begin our time together tonight. When you come to All Nations, we incorporate a lot of different tribal cultural things in the way that we come together. And I've been a little under the weather the last 4 days. Otherwise, I would have made sure that you had a fire going out here when you came today. If somebody still wants to go out there and light one, they're welcome to do that. We have lots of wood out there. Let's bow our heads. Takashla Wakantanka, Gitchi Manatu, Mauna Creator God. We gather on this day as the first of 5 candidate forums for the Mille Band of Ojibwe this week. Today we open our ears and our minds and our hearts to those who wish to serve this nation. We ask blessings on this time today, where leadership skills and wisdom and compassion may be lifted up so that many will see who will serve the Mille Band of Ojibwe. In this world where so many issues and challenges and outcomes come so quickly among us, we ask for leaders to be skilled in seeking resolve so that this nation and all tribal nations in this country may thrive and be healthy and prosper. Bless the land, the water, and the air which we share as your people. May these gifts stay vibrant, healthy, and clean for generations to come. And we pray for those who want to serve, that they will lead with vision and compassion and fortitude. May they use their voice to share today how they will do that. Bless the Mille Nation as they discern candidates who will bring forth leadership, commitment, and compassion for the people, for their nation, and for the land that they govern. Bless this nation during this important time. Amen.
All right, Miigwech. Marlene, thank you very much for that prayer. That brings us to mealtime, so let's all please gather in the back. Is the food ready? Yep, so please join in the meal, gather some sustenance. Elders first, please, and then we'll take a quick break for dinner. At this time, I'll also remind everybody on your way in, there are pens and note cards. If you have a question that you want to ask to all the candidates in a general manner, this is a forum and not a debate. So you're not allowed to ask direct questions of direct candidates, but you can ask general questions that you want. Please put them on a 3x5 note card, label them either Chief Executive or District 1 Representative, and put them in the boxes in the back. Thank you. I'll just remind folks as you're getting a chance to share a meal and share a good conversation, don't forget there are pens and note cards in the back for your questions. We ask that you label them either for the chief executive or the District 1 representative. Does someone have their phone hooked up to a Bluetooth speaker? Oh, it didn't do it. You guys heard it repeat, right? I'm not. Okay. All right. You guys are messing with me. Test 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. Now you can't hear me on here. Can you guys hear me through the speakers? I don't think they can hear me through the speakers. 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. Let's see if this repeats. Nothing yet. Okay. I'm glad we caught that. I'm glad I like to talk a lot. Oh, and then they cut me off. I was just saying I'm glad I like to talk a lot, so we caught that. We're going to go over the framework here as I do the introductions. They can't hear me over here now, though. I'm not coming through our speaker. There we go. As soon as we get through this, get back into the script, I'll read some stuff. My phone's ringing. It's my niece. Ignoring her. Y'all want me to keep going? Is that good? Check 1 2.
last bullet mean, so we know?
We weren't sure if they were Facebook Living or YouTubing it.
Right, but what do they mean? The Mille Lacs band officials will live stream the event in the platform of their choice.
So they're going to live stream this event on whatever platform they were going to come up with.
Oh,
so we weren't
okay,
sure if
you
it was
mean
going to be on
that,
Facebook.
on what media?
Yeah, yeah, what media? I should have. That
Okay.
should have been. Yeah, platform meaning media.
Platforms politically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not that. Yep, yep. Hey, great point. We'll actually change. We still have a few copies of the forum guidelines in the back, so please, if you want a copy to review the rules how we'll run the event, please check them out. Remember, as you're formulating your questions and you're asking them to the chief executive candidates and the District 1 candidates, I'll repeat again, we won't allow questions directed at individual candidates. Should be broad questions that every one of the candidates can have a chance to answer. Yeah, keep on eating, keep on visiting. We're just about ready to get going, though. Gee, everyone got really quiet. All right, everyone has a chance to grab something. First of all, let's have a round of applause for the cooks who prepared our meal tonight. Thank you very much. So now we're going to get into tonight's program. I'm going to read through some of the rules so everyone understands how we're operating. All of the band's forums will be conducted with the utmost respect and fairness to all candidates. The candidate forums function separately from the band's election process. If you have any questions about the election process itself, please contact the election judges. The purpose of these forums is to inform and educate voters about the candidates and the key issues facing the Mille Band of Ojibwe, to offer candidates the opportunity to inform voters of their qualifications for office, positions on key issues, and plans should they be elected, and to further inform and educate candidates on the key issues facing the Mille Band. Today's forum is for the candidates running for the Mille Band Chief Executive and District 1 Representative. The candidates received the guidelines informing them of the format and components of this event. The guidelines are also available at the table near the entrance. Please take a moment to review them if you haven't done so. Each candidate signed in and their names will be drawn from a hat to determine the order of opening statements. Closing statements will occur in reverse order. All candidates are allowed to remain in the forum area during the opening and closing statements. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to make an opening statement and 3 minutes to make a closing statement. A timekeeper will be seated in the front row, right there in that chair, and will signal the candidates with timing cards when 1 minute remains, 30 seconds remains, and when time expires. While the candidates make their opening statements, constituents in attendance are invited to submit written questions on the index cards provided. Pens are also provided. Please raise your hand now if you need a pen. Questions must be addressed to all candidates and may only be submitted while the candidates are making their opening statement, or until their candidates are done making their opening statements. Following opening statements, the candidates will be escorted to a quiet waiting room while the forum team works with the moderator to review and coordinate questions for the candidates. This team will include the Native Governance Center's Program Manager, April Deal McKenzie, and Program Director, Jamie Davis. There in the back, ladies, wave your hands. We're going to form a question screen team, so joining Jamie and April will be 2 volunteers from the community. We ask that these volunteers must reside in the urban community, and so we're going to ask for volunteers here shortly. We also will need a timekeeper for tonight's event. We'll ask for a volunteer from the urban community to keep time for each candidate as well. The questions will be collected and reviewed by the screeners. Screening prevents duplication and ensures the questions are respectful, balanced, pertinent to the election, and addressed to all the candidates. As moderator, I will make the final determination on the appropriateness of questions. Candidates and constituents are asked to respect that determination. At this time, I will ask 2 people from the urban community to volunteer on the forum team to help screen questions. If we have more than 2 people volunteer, we'll have you write your name down and we'll draw names. Do I have any volunteers to help screen questions? Please. Anybody else besides these 2? 3. All right, so you 3, please go back, sign your name, and we'll draw 2 names out of a hat. All right. And this is normally where I would hum the Jeopardy theme, but because we're live stream, I'm embarrassed at my singing voice, so I'll spare you all that. Red circle. Is the camera adding 10 pounds? Jeez. All right. They said they got that slimming filter on me. Just don't put the dog ears up. All right. Names are in the hat. Drum roll, please. Janice will be a screener for the questions. Janice and Al. Round of applause for the volunteers. Thank you. All right, now we need a volunteer for a timekeeper. For the timekeeper, you get the seat of honor right in front, and you get to hold these really cool laminated signs that say 1 minute, 30 seconds, and stop. And don't worry, you don't have to stop the speakers. I'll stop them. So no pressure. Do we have a volunteer from the community, someone to be the timekeeper? All right. All right, we got to move you up to the front row. All right. All right, and I like to I like to celebrate volunteerism, so let's give Jackie a round of applause for timekeeping. Thank you. All right. We are going to present 3 questions to each set of the candidates tonight. They'll be based on the questions you all ask in the box, either for the chief executive or the District 1 representative. Candidates will be invited individually into the forum to respond to those questions after we send them out. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond to those questions, and the timekeeper will signal with timing cards when 15 seconds remains and when time expires. Once the candidate finishes answering the questions, he or she will go back to the waiting area while the next candidate responds. When all of the candidates have finished the question and answer section, I will invite all the candidates back in, and each candidate will have the option to provide a closing statement. Closing statements, again, will be 3 minutes and made in reverse order of opening statements. The timekeeper will again alert each candidate for the closing statements when 1 minute remains, 30 seconds remains, and when they're out of time. The forum will conclude promptly following the last closing statement. In fairness to everyone involved, it is vitally important to conduct ourselves in a positive and respectful manner during the forum. The following are the rules that we will adhere to. Please silence all your cell phones and other electronic devices and keep usage to an absolute minimum. If you must take a call, please leave the candidate forum meeting area. Personal recording on your own phone is prohibited of any kind. Please respect that rule. If I see you with your phone and it looks like you're recording, I'll ask you to please shut it off. The audience will give each candidate an opportunity to be heard. This is not a community meeting. Comments from the audience will not be accepted. Tables for campaign materials have been provided outside to the candidates. No campaign materials are allowed to be on display in the forum meeting area. This is a forum, not a rally or a debate. In deference to our limited time, please hold applause until the end of the event. Timelines and rules will be strictly followed, and the forum will end promptly as scheduled. Childcare is not provided. Please help take a look after everyone's children. All candidates have agreed to follow the format and rules established for the candidate forums. I, as the moderator, have the authority to adjust the rules as needed if unexpected circumstances arise. Candidates, please keep in mind that as moderator, I mean don't disrespect if I interrupt you when your time is up. Miigwech. At this time, I'll introduce the candidates for the chief executive. Curtis Leroy Kalk, Juanetta Joe Thompson, Melanie Ann Benjamin, Carolyn Marie Bolio, Tanya Ray Abid, and Ronald Dean Davis. We will now draw for the order of opening statements. Can I please have a volunteer from the audience to assist with the drawing? All right, you're going to get a round of applause if you volunteer, so please. Right, oh, Jamie, oh no, oh, sorry. No, she volunteered too. Oh, no, sorry. I was going to say go back and see Jamie. Whew, we're live, y'all. This is pressure. All right, first name. All right, candidates, if you could please join me up here. I'll announce for the live stream the candidates. Please come grab a seat for your opening statements. Ron David, Tanya Abid, Melanie Benjamin, Carolyn Bolio, Kurt Kalk, and Juanetta Thompson. Please join us up front. All right, Jackie, are you ready with 3 minutes on the timer? Up first to give the opening statements, Ron David.
Okay, I'm ready. Ani, Chitinini, Nabin Ways, Dijinakas. One of my first priorities on my agenda will be to implement a program to reestablish tribal members training to learn the casino's daily operations in the department of their choice. We'll create a willing to learn it, work it, and enjoy it. Apply yourselves to the department of your liking, place where you think you'll be an asset, and become a working owner with pride. Our casinos are our bread and butter. It's what has got us here today. We need band members to reaffirm our ownership and develop our redirection to establish a better band member recruitment and maintain our bread and butter. Also, I want to redraw the lines for our tribal sovereignty. We've made enough sacrifices on top of the sacrifices and hardships our ancestors experienced. It's time we stop waiting for this government to write more laws to restrict us from our sovereign rights, violating our civil rights as well as an American. Hiring tribal police to mimic these over-aggressive tactics and violate our civil rights on the reservation. We didn't agree to this being treated like this when we signed them treaties. We need to draw the line and reestablish our rights as a sovereign nation. Retrain the new tribal police not to mimic our county and state's ideology to use whatever force is necessary to become, because then it gives them no boundaries. When they are told to write a report, like in college, these law enforcement students are required to take a creative writing course to make any incident believable, to incriminate and lie, to tarnish our credibility by creatively using words to justify their actions. From trespassing to more serious violations, to trick us into signing our name to a piece of paper to make a plea of guilty or not guilty. Well, these laws weren't written laws when our ancestors signed those treaties. So when we sign our name, that allows them to charge us in their court of jurisdiction. We no longer have our sovereign rights, but are subject under the Dual Citizenship Act of 1928.
Next up, Tanya Abid.
Buju, bidwewe gijugu ko nendej na kaz. Pa ako manoman ni kamen na ako ang undunjiba. Awasa si du tame. Bangi at go ni nata joboy moen. Ego watesh kang nendere ni gani mama. I'm very happy to be able to make it down here to our urban area. I come from East Lake, District 2 area, and I'm looking to be able to run for chief executive for the Mille Band. What brought me here today was I've been going up against these corporations, big oil mining corporations, that are up in my area. And the one thing that I would like to see is that we be able to get the Declaration of Rights of Indigenous Peoples in legal binding forms. That way we can be able to stop these corporations from encroaching upon our lands upon that way. I know what I would do for the Mille Lacs Band if it really came down to it. Most of you had seen what I had been going up against over at Standing Rock and what I laid my life down on the line over there to be able to prove a point that water is life and why we need these waters and why the waters, we need these clean habitats for the wild rice, because that's what keeps us going throughout these lands here. I'm getting a little nervous, pardon me. I just want to say miigwech to those that are here, and like what my bio head says, you know, I'm a 4/4 full-blooded Anishinaabe Gikwe, and to me, in the governmental eyes, I'm just an endangered species since we carry around those pretty blue little POW cards, right? So that's another thing that I wanted to be able to get the federal government to be able to recognize us, you know, to be able to stand on those treaties out there and to let them know, hey, you guys have violated those. You don't, how would you say, fulfill those treaties? And to be able to say, no more, we're gonna be taking these lands back, and this is why we are doing it, because of those unfulfilled promises in those treaties. I'm not sure what else more to say here, except miigwech to all of you, and miigwech to the candidates that are up here, and for being able to come forward and make our state our case. Miigwech.
I thank you for the applause, but let's please hold our applause till the end. Up next, Melanie Benjamin.
Buju Anin Anishinaabe Duk, Mino Gijigad Nungum, Mandaman Indigenous Cause, Melanie Benjamin Indigo. I am your chief executive, and it has been my honor and my privilege to serve the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe and promote the general welfare of the Mille Lacs Band members. And when we look at the great strides that we have made over the last 4 years, they're pretty immense. And the biggest one that we can think about is the recognition of our boundaries. And where the state of Minnesota did a legal analysis, and their determination was that our reservation was never disestablished. And so therefore, all of these people that are on the outside coming and attacking us and saying our reservation doesn't exist, we can put that all to bed. And then so we can look at how do we move forward? How do we move forward today to promote the general welfare of the band members in terms of education, housing, culture and language, our youth, our leadership, making sure that we have mentors, so whoever's out here, all of these individuals included as well, that we grow and have the best team ready for leadership to bring our band, our tribe forward. And it's been such an honor to be able to know and look at people throughout the reservation and the skills that they bring. And we talk about each of us as Anishinaabe, we have a skill, a gift that the Manitou has given us. And how do we promote that? How do we grow that within each of us to make sure that our reservation can be the best that it can? And over the years, it's been great to see our young people grow, and we have young leaders that say, you know what, I want to be a part of the leadership of the Mille Lacs Band. And I say that's more power to all of us for doing that. And if we can do anything in our power to make sure that we help them to be the best that they can, that's what I think we have to do in terms of scholarships, like I mentioned earlier, mentorships, to bring people in to make sure that they know what are the best practices in Indian country for we as Mille Lacs Band. We have a wealth of knowledge with our elders, and they're there to help us. All we have to do is ask. And so when I think about what we're doing here tonight, I want to say miigwech to everyone for attending, for the candidates, for showing their commitment, and also to the cooks over there who fed us. And it's good to see everyone, and get out and vote, hopefully, March 31st. and that's going to be a good day for all of us. Miigwech.
Thank you. Carolyn Bolio?
Miigwech, high urban area. I'm just getting over a cold. It's not coronavirus, so don't worry about that. But my voice is just a little bit lacking, but I will do my best. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I am running because there is a crisis back home where I live. We have hundreds of ODs. We have dozens of deaths due to heroin. We have hundreds of children in out-of-home placements. Many of those are off-reservation with non-Indian families. We have high numbers of homelessness. Every week there's another house boarded up on our reservation and another family added to the homelessness list. There's still no enforcement in our tribal employment rights. Band members are shunned when they try to get jobs. They're not mentored when they're working. Our businesses do not recruit. We have 3 hotels down here in the city. I don't know of any band members that work there, let alone are in management or supervisory positions. My whole career with the band's always been about helping band members. I started at the Corporate Commission working in band member development where I was mentoring and helping band members get jobs and maintain their employment. I then moved across the street where I worked and helped revise the DOL program and try to get those folks to work with the casinos and our businesses to get band members working. And then as Secretary-Treasurer, we moved TARO, Tribal Employment Rights, to a standalone entity so it could enforce TARO. And unfortunately, nothing has worked. I've been in all those positions, been trying to force good things to happen, and nothing's worked. And so I think my only other alternative is to try to get in the chief position so I can make sure that policies are changed to meet the needs of band members. As for the ODs and the deaths, I think we need an addict intervention program where families can team up, go to the courts and say, hey, I got a family member who is endangering themselves, endangering their families. We need to step in and get them treatment. I also want to create some sort of Habitat for Humanity program where we can get band members interested in helping fix up those boarded up homes on our reservation. And then as for TARO, we just need to start enforcing that. We need to enforce band member development, make sure our band members have every opportunity they deserve to get ahead in life. Miigwech.
Up next, Kurt Kalk.
You ready? I'm ready. Okay. Ready? Go. Go? Okay. Hi, I'm Kurt Kalk. I've been with the band for about 20 years, actually 20 years now. I worked alongside Melanie Benjamin for many years, and I've worked along a lot of people that are here. A lot of people know me. I was a commissioner of natural resources for 10 years and co-managed our treaty rights with the state of Minnesota. And I was also the secretary-treasurer for 4 years, so I can see how our spending has gone, or what our spending rate is. And we do have our foot on the gas pedal pretty hard. And we got to think about that a little bit. But I want to talk about the urban area a little bit. I know that it's an area that really gets not much benefit from the band when it comes time to make decisions about how to spend our money. And dollar for dollar, I know that the band members that are in the city get less money for their programs, for their efforts and what they do down here. One of the things I'd like to say is I would know that the chief executive needs a district office up at District 1, but I will have a satellite office here in the urban area. I'll be sitting there, and I want to hear what you go through every day. I want to hear when a program isn't treating you fair. I want to hear when somebody isn't helping you. And if I can't find it for you, I'll look everywhere I can and get you answers. But I'll really be a part of down here and see what you guys have to go through every day. I know we got a terrible building. It needs work. Right now we use federal funding to rent that building. So it would cost no money to us when we do that, but if we owned our own, it would have a cost. Other tribes do have buildings down here. I would definitely want to see a better environment for our services here. I've been in that office, and I was kind of scared to walk in the back rooms. I wasn't sure what was back there. But we really need them. We need a transportation effort. We don't have a big vehicle program. but I have looked at a thing where maybe the tribe could sponsor what I call Truber, or tribal Uber, and have more than one driver to help people get to the appointments they need to down here, because it's pretty difficult to get through or to ride a bus when you're not feeling well or catch the train. I gotta make notes to myself these days. We need a program that keeps our youth involved in our resources and harvesting. We do have a program coming up that's gonna come and see the maple syruping, and I hope more youth can come up, and I would do everything I could to support a program to get those kids in the woods and enjoy what we do. I want your vote to make things move forward. I want things to change. I want things to get better. I want home loans to move faster. I want a lot of things to be different than they have been. So I hope I get your vote on it March 31st. Thank you.
Up next, Juanetta Thompson.
A little short, so I have to move it down. Ready? Buju Wabashkanadukwe Indigenous Cause. Good evening, everyone. My name is Juanetta Thompson. I'm running for Chief Executive. My parents are Myron and Cheryl Garbo, and my grandparents are Georgiana Day and Jim Bolio. My dad's mom and dad are Nancy Ann Garbo and John Garbo Senior, excuse me. I've been married for 25 years to my husband, Anton, and I have 3 daughters, Lakora, Kyra, and Tori. I have a bachelor's, my tongue is getting big, I can't talk. I have a bachelor's degree in business, and on March 29th, I'll be working at the casino for 29 years. I've been serving as the assistant general manager since October of 2017. I'm looking for an opportunity to utilize the experience that I gained at the casinos and going to college. I wanted to bring that back to the community and utilize that. My dream is that every band member is living their best life. Each of you have a different version of what that means. I'll do my best to facilitate that by holding people accountable, creating efficiencies within the government, and effectiveness of the programs. I'm ready to serve my tribe, and I want what's best for you. My work ethics have been awesome since the 28 years that I've worked for Grand Casino. This year we budgeted about $67 million to send from a distribution standpoint to the tribe. And with my business background, I just wanted to let you know that I look at things differently and from a different perspective. We need to determine how we can make our government more efficient, look at ways to make the programs more effective, and hold the people that work in them areas accountable for results. But I need your help. By creating effective programs where you play a role in designing them and implementing them that address the problems that are plaguing our community. Like Carolyn said, we have a drug epidemic on our reservation. We need to ask ourselves what problems are solvable and which programs we need to continue to fund. We have programs that are ineffective or just need some work. A small change can make a big difference. Once we determine the issues and how we want to address them, we can use technology to create an efficient run government. Once we have an efficient run government, we can focus our efforts on and utilize the excess dollars that the casino sends over every year. I'm here today to ask for your vote. I know I can make a difference. Please provide me with this opportunity, and I will use everything that I learned at the casinos to make a positive impact for you in our government. Please join me on March 14th over at the Little Earth Community Gym from 12 to 2.
Gotta go back up there, sorry. Thank you, candidates, for your opening statements. I'll now ask Sheena to escort you to the holding room. So please, all rise. At this time, for the live stream folks and you here in person, we're going to take about a 10-minute break. We're going to go through and organize and sort the questions. So, census. If you have any questions, now's the last time to get it in the box. Question helpers, please join Jamie and April. All right, and we're on about a 10-minute break. Thank you. All right, we've got the questions. If someone could make a swing outside and ask those people if there's anyone outside to come on in. Sheena, if you could please bring Mr. David out. Davis, thank you, good catch. Was that live stream when I said his name? Welcome back, Mr. Davis. I'll remind you in the audience, we're going to ask 3 questions. Each candidate will have 1 minute to answer the question. Timer will start as soon as you start talking. The timer will remind you when you have 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and then let you know to stop as time expires. Again, there's no disrespect, but when the stop sign goes up, I will stop you. Thank you. Your first question is, how would you help get everyone into homes and help homeless members?
I like that question. First of all, I went around probably about a year and a half ago, and I counted all of these homes around Ojibwe over there, and there was 24 homes that were boarded up. And I took the fire number down, and out of all of those 24 homes, they only got 8 of those done within a year. So there was still that many homes left over. What I would do is I would give each band member a home. We need to give it to them so that it's more like theirs. We don't have to sign that. If we sign a lease agreement, that's telling them that, it's really not our home. So we don't care about this home. If we just give it to them, then they have a right of ownership, and then they would take care of it. That's how we need to do it. Give them homes. That's what we deserve. That's what our ancestors meant.
All right, timer ready? Next question. How would you go about helping band members here in the cities specifically?
Here in the city, I grew up here in Minneapolis. I was born in '67. I grew up in the North Side Projects. What needs to be done here is we have to have programs that will help train us and be able to assimilate this society's way, this white people's way, Chumukaman way. If we help train our band members to learn different trades, that's going to help us. That's going to help us survive, and continue on. That way, if we need to, come back home and then teach everyone else how to do that also. Whatever it is, whatever trade you're into, whether it be carpentry, learning how to build, being a politician, or whatever it may be.
And the last question, what are your thoughts on an independent audit which includes all monies, the government monies, casino monies, and program monies?
Can you repeat that question?
Yes, sir. What are your thoughts on an independent audit which includes all monies, government monies, casino monies, and program monies?
I think we need to do that. They have our money tucked away in some long-term savings. We have no idea what it is or where it is. We need to, I think where it's at is they're putting in this long-term savings, and the federal government is using that money to pay off part of their national debt, and they're promising us something at the end of the rainbow that's going to give us, we'll give you $10 million more if you hold it there. Well, no. Why should we believe that? Why should we believe what they say? They've already tricked us and not giving us what they said they'd give us. So what we need to do is, yes, we need to take an accountability of where our money is, grab it, bring it back, and invest into gold or something, that's going to hold some sort of sustenance where the dollar could fall. This United States dollar could be thrown away, man. That's where our money's going to go.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Sheena will escort you back. Sheena, if you could bring Tanya out next, please. Huh? Okay. All right, this is where last time I told jokes on these breaks, but again, I'll spare you. I'm not feeling particularly funny tonight, so just looking. I'll leave it at that. Well, welcome back in the room, Tanya Abed. Tanya, I'll remind you, and everybody else, you'll have 3 questions. You'll have 1 minute to respond. The timer will remind you when you have 30 seconds left, 15 seconds left, and as time expires. The time will begin when you start talking. Your first question is, how would you help get everyone into homes and help homeless members?
How would I?
Help get everybody into homes and help homeless members.
Well, first of all, okay, are we talking about the urban area or are we talking about the whole gamut of the reservation? Everything? First of all, if we take a look up at the different districts up there, we can see that there is empty housing up there. Then to be able to get housing to come back in, renovate those houses and open those up for our homeless, our singles, and also for, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Oh, okay. So that's one thing that I would be looking forward to. And then also for those who want to be down here in the urban areas, we would take a look into the different housing situations that like high rises maybe, or even single housing, family housing down here. That's it?
Yep.
Just the one?
No,
Okay.
I'll read the next question.
Oh, great.
Let me come up and. All right, timer, please reset. Sorry, I should have explained that. I'll come back up and ask every time. Your next question is, how would you go about helping band members here in the cities specifically?
How would I go about helping band members in the cities here? First of all, I would want to know how many band members do we have? Do I need to come over to the band office down here and make sure that we get a pertinent count on everybody? Or do we have others out there that are not willing to come into the offices but have some sort of correspondence in that way to be able to get their voices heard? I know that through the different things that I've been to different events and things like that, I know that there's band members out there that I do not normally regularly see, like up on the reservation up there, but who want to be an active participant. And then that way, I want those folks to be able to come out and reach out to me to be able to get that information that they need as far as how we want to take care of the reservation down here in the urban areas.
Timer, please reset. Your last question is, what are your thoughts on an independent audit which includes all monies, government money, casino monies, and program monies?
I would like to see what that audit would bring forward to us. Like as far as like, what do we have as far as resources, like up north, as far as those kinds of resources go. In my area, up in the District 2, we're looking at the corporations of the pipeline coming in, and also Polymet looking to do some mining over there in our territories over there. And I would like to know personally how much of those resources are being invested back into the band, or if they are going outside helping other tribes or helping other say countries maybe. So those are the things that I would like to take a look at also.
All right. I'll have you go back into the room. Thank you very much. Please bring Melanie Benjamin. Welcome back to the room, Melanie Benjamin. We'll ask 3 questions. You'll get 1 minute to respond to each. The timer will start when you start talking. The timer will notify you when you have 30 seconds remaining, 15 seconds remaining, and when it's time to stop. Your first question, and then you can answer and I'll run over there and then come back. How would you help get everyone into homes and help homeless members?
Currently, we have a housing program that falls under community development, and you also have a housing board. And those two determine how policies and procedures move forward. And as a chief executive, because that authority's been delegated out to these bodies, that you just stand and watch them make those decisions. But I think when you have a very long list for mortgages, for elder homes, and for homelessness, that it's time to really maybe go in there and aggressively ask them to revisit their policies and procedures so we can move forward. Currently, we have a building that are for homelessness because we knew that was a very big issue and we wanted to make sure that those folks had the opportunity for housing and wraparound services if they needed. So again, it's always looking at the policies, moving forward, making them better, and asking the input from the band members.
Second question. How would you go about helping band members here in the cities specifically?
We have ongoing discussions with the urban kind of directors and those kind of folks. What we want to do is purchase that land across the road here and build a complex for housing. We want to have elder housing in there and also other housing for other folks as well. And we're looking at tax credits. How can we utilize tax credits to be able to do more housing for people in the urban area? We also have our home loan program, which again is a long list, so we need to really speed that up and make sure that the housing board and the community development are working together to move all of those issues forward. And again, it's like we have all of these programs, and then how does it impact you? And so we ask you to tell us, and so we can revise and make our programs better to benefit you.
Timer, please reset. Third question. What are your thoughts on an independent audit which includes all monies, government monies, casino monies, and program monies?
We do an audit every year, and so all of those pots of monies are actually audited. You have the casino that has their audit team that takes care of that. The band government through the Secretary Treasurer's Office, we do an audit every year. They look at all the programs, how are the monies spent, what did you say you were gonna do, how are the grants managed, and so that's an ongoing process. So every year as chief executive, I get a copy of that report from the Commissioner of Finance. And so I have the opportunity to ask questions, how is our money from investment standpoint being done, and making sure that all our grant management and the monies that the programs ask for, that we have to make sure that that is spent the way we say it's spent, and that's where that audit team comes in and make sure that it's done. So I support audits 100%.
Thank you. That was the remaining questions. If you'll please join Jamie. Have Carolyn come out. Definitely need music next time. Yeah, some music, yeah. Welcome back to the room, Carolyn Bolio. Carolyn, I'll remind you and everybody else the rules. You have 3 questions. A minute to respond to the questions. Yeah. Ready, Jackie? Okay. Second question. How would you go about helping band members here in the cities specifically?
Okay, well, the homes, I kind of discussed that a little bit, and I think that we can do a lot more with jobs and training. We do have an urban office down here that has an arm of the Department of Labor, but I think we could do a lot more by opening up mentorships, internships, and that type of thing at our businesses down here, as well as find more businesses. Let's see, what else can we do? We can help you, job skills, childcare. We could probably offer childcare subsidies for people who do get jobs. All those things go hand in hand. You got to have a house to get a job. You have to have a job to have childcare. You have to have childcare to go to work. So we need to help holistically, maybe some sort of wraparound program that has failed in the past. We just need the right leaders and managers in place to make these things happen, because we've tried them before and they just don't seem to work. But I'm committed to opening up more housing opportunities for you here, more job and employment opportunities, childcare services.
Ready, Jackie? Third question. What are your thoughts on an independent audit which includes all monies, government monies, casino monies, program monies?
I believe audits are very important and informative, and I support them 100%. As Secretary Treasurer, we did audits, not only monetary. We did an audit of the housing department, and there was 53 findings of pretty much mismanagement in housing, and we were able to identify those areas and then make recommendations to the executive branch to correct those problems. And I'm sorry to say, not much has happened there. But audits are very important. We need to see how much money is in our long-term savings, make sure every investment we're doing is well monitored and making us money. Miigwech?
Yep, that's it. Thank you. Please go back with Jamie. Jamie, bring out Kurt. You all make me nervous, so. Come back on in, Kurt. Well, welcome back, Kurt Kalk. Kurt, I'll remind you and everybody the rules. You'll have 3 questions, 1 minute to respond to each question. I'll ask, get out of your way, you can come in and answer, and then we'll just swap out. Timer will start when you start talking. The timer will let you know when you have 30 seconds remaining, 15 seconds remaining, and then again as your time expires, and we'll go to the next question.
Does the timer start if I just need clarification on the question?
No, if you have a question on the question, we'll clarify the question, and then we'll get going with the question answer. All right. First question. Yep. How would you help get everyone into homes and help homeless members?
Okay. You got to take your time to think about it a little. This is really important. All right. First of all, don't be fooled by somebody saying something that you can do that. It would take 1 year to just plan on putting 200 homes up before you can get it up the second year. That's not true. You can't do that. Physically impossible. But the other part is that, changing our policies within the band itself, we can do that. We can meet those needs, but the policies are a little restrictive. They're under HUD guidelines, even with our band-built homes. We can pull some of the HUD guidelines off our band-built homes and loosen up those restrictions. That's why people wind up homeless, because they don't meet the HUD guideline a lot of times. But we can change that. Submit something, have somebody work on it. You can't get this stuff done traveling around the country. You can't get this stuff done not by being home. And you sure can't do it if you aren't present to get the job done. And I'm the guy that wants to get that job done. I really am. That's a big deal right now. I'm on the housing board, and I see how many people are suffering.
Second question, how would you go about helping band members here in the cities specifically? them? How would you go about helping band members here in the city specifically?
All right, go ahead. I think I talked about that right away in my opening statements there. I kind of just, I'm the kind of person that put myself in somebody else's position. And I can see what it would be like to come across town on a miserable day and try to get some decent service. It isn't that it isn't there, it's getting to that service that becomes a problem. And that's why I talked about this tribal Uber thing where you could call somebody and have 5 names on your refrigerator to call somebody that could give you a ride. The other part is that once you get there, you have to have somebody help you. There's so many people that walk in, I see, and they get an application thrown in front of them. If you don't know the person there, they don't help you. I've seen more petrified young people to fill that form out because in the end it says you're going to jail if you didn't spell your name right or something they're scared of. So I look at that and I think somebody's just got to be nicer to people. Just help them walk through this stuff. Elders need stuff like that. Just a lot of time it's just having somebody next to you. The way that I do that is have somebody there, a liaison that sits there and does the best they can to help you get the services you need. A lot of them are there. We just have to be better at them and treat each other a little more kind to do it.
And your third question, what are your thoughts on an independent audit which includes all monies, government monies, casino monies, and program monies?
That's reverberating in my hearing aids, so I'm not being able to hear it.
So
I got it Bluetooth to the speakers so they can hear it in the background.
What are your thoughts on an independent audit which includes all monies, government monies, casino monies, program monies?
All right. They're done every year. Audits are done every year. One thing we implemented when I was Secretary Treasurer was that the federal government, when we do an audit, that's up for Freedom of Information Act. That can be requested by anybody. So what we've done is we split out federal funding versus casino revenue because a lot of times other states want to see what tribes are making in their gaming revenue. Audits are pretty standard every year. But we only audit the federal funding one way, and then we audit the tribal money another way. If there's anomalies in there, they're caught right away. It's pretty hard to miss anything these days. Years ago, you could slip something through, things could go wrong. But now with computers, there's not a lot you can get by. Not really. I mean, somebody could probably claim false mileage. Somebody could probably punch out early or fill their time card out wrong. But as far as things doing that, the band runs off $137 million a year, and it's about $65,000 a day that go through OMB. And they got to be pretty accurate. Okay, stop.
All right. Thank you. Please join Jamie. Jamie, have Juanetta come out, please. April, do we have evaluations? So I know no one likes filling out evaluations, but Native Governance Center, we have some evaluations in the back. If between candidates, after we're all done, if people could take some time to fill those out, it really helps us improve this process moving forward. Let's welcome back Juanetta Thompson. Juanetta, I'll go through everything again with you like I have the other candidates. You'll get 3 questions. You'll have 1 minute to respond to each question. The timer will start when you start talking. They'll let you know when there's 30 seconds left. 15 seconds left, and as your time expires. Your first question is, how would you help get everyone into homes and help homeless members?
Well, first of all, we need to figure out how we can get the boarded up houses fixed. One of the things that I was thinking about was maybe there's an opportunity to have a bunch of contractors come in and fix up all them houses. You know, some of them are in repair of different needs. Maybe there's level 1, level 2, level 3. And what we would do is level 1s, there would be like 50 houses, let's just say as an example, and we could get them fixed up right away. Level 2 need maybe a little bit more time. Level 3, just depending on what it is, right? There's so many opportunities that we can look for in regards to fixing some of the houses up that we have boarded up. There's a bunch of them. I went and walked around when I was campaigning, and almost on every street corner there's one. So I don't understand why. I don't understand why all these houses are boarded up. We have a housing list that's a mile long. We need to look at how we run the programs so that we're effective.
Question 2. Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
Always short.
I know.
Always short.
How would you go about helping band members here in the cities specifically?
I was just thinking about that while I was riding down here, and it seems like you guys are like forgotten about. You know, we were talking about the wall of the forgotten natives, and that's what it feels like to me, that you guys are always forgotten about. My friend used to live down here. She doesn't live down here anymore, but when she had issues, where does she go? Does she go to the District 1 rep? Does she go to the District 3 rep? Does she go to the District 2 rep? She didn't know. She didn't know where she was supposed to go for help, and that's wrong. We need to provide you down here in the urban area with the same type of services and programs that we provide to the tribal members on the reservation. I don't understand why we're not doing that right now. So, you know, I talked about the revenue allocation plan earlier, or the $67 million that we send over for distribution. There's a lot of money that we have opportunities to use.
All right, and the third question is, what are your thoughts on an independent audit which includes all monies, government monies, casino monies, and program monies?
One of the goals that I have is to look at all the programs and services that we offer, do an analysis of them, figure out what's wrong, fix the issue, and then figure out how we can move forward. You know, one of the things that I want to do is I want to, like, you know what issues they are. You know what we do, what we need to accomplish the goals. I don't have that knowledge. You know, the people that it affects on a daily basis, that's where we need to go. You know, government for the people and by the people, that's what we should be practicing on a daily basis. You know, if we don't allow you guys to tell us what you need, then we might as well just continue with what we're doing right now, because obviously the programs aren't meeting your needs or meeting the needs of the people. So.
All right, that concludes our question and answer session. We'll now ask all the candidates to rejoin us.
So can I just stay out here?
Yep, unless you have something to go grab.
Nope.
All right. You'll go first. All right. We're now going to go into our closing statements. Welcome back all the candidates. I'll remind everyone we're going to go in reverse order. Each candidate will get 3 minutes for closing statements. The timer will signify when there's a minute remaining, 30 seconds remaining, 15 seconds remaining, and then when we stop. I'll ask Juanetta Thompson to come up and give her closing statements first.
All right. You know, earlier I talked about the $67 million that we send over from the casinos every year. Well, this year that's how much we have budgeted. You know, and I was thinking about that, and our base government spending right now, based on our revenue allocation plan, is 25%. So that's roughly $16 million that we spend on our programs and services every year. And these are just rough numbers. If we even saved 5% of that number, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. $16 million we could use somewhere else if we saved money. Now, one of the things, you know, that I talked about was accountability. Accountability is one of my core principles. and I thrive on holding people accountable. You know, one of the things that, in my current job, I am responsible for all the VPs and the directors that are responsible for running the departments within the casino. That's what I do. I do that on a daily basis. And I think that I can make a big difference in the government by holding people accountable, creating efficiencies within the programs, and making sure that each program is effective and serving the needs of the people. Because that's what we're here for. We're not here for us. We're here for you. We are here to serve you, and that's what I want to do. Another thing that that I want to talk about is Carolyn talked earlier about the plague, things that are plaguing our community, and we've all been affected by the drug epidemic. Me, myself, personally, I've been affected. My family has been affected. My families have children that have been taken away from them. One of my family members passed away due to the effects of using. And I just think that there's opportunities for us to create supportive services that really work. Right now we have a program that isn't really working for us. You know, up in the loop up in Mille at D1, and the building behind the casino by the ALU. I don't know if there's one in District 2, but they are supposed to be serving the people that are coming back when they come back from treatment, but they're still sitting dead. There's nobody in them. They're all boarded up, and I don't understand why. Why? Also, the clinic over in Mille, the community center in Mille. I heard that clinic's been sitting dead for a year. Completed, completely done, and it's been sitting dead for a year. Why? Why? Why is it sitting dead? There's nobody in it. Everything's ready to go. Is that yours?
Please hold your applause till we're all done, y'all. Thank you. Up next, Kurt Kalk.
Thought I had a wood tick, but let's go. All right, joking aside, seriously, you know, I've served a band for 20 years, and you can have degrees, and you can have fine things, you can have a lot of things in this world. But when you look at a person, you want to know it's somebody that's going to do something honestly, with integrity, and be fair, and be straightforward with you, look you right in the eye, and give you a straight answer when you ask. Not come back tomorrow. Not come back the next day, or I'll find out and never get back to you. I will give you answers, and I'll be there for you, and I'll answer my phone. You're not going to hear that my mailbox is full. I won't say that. I like talking to people. I want to hear what they got to say. I got 3 minutes, right? Okay. I want to talk some more about a new building down here. You guys really need it. I want input. I'm on Facebook. If you got that flyer in the mail, my phone number's on there. I want input to see what you want in that building, what it would look like. What do you think you need? It's important. It's a big expenditure. The chief executive is a custodian of all band property. I want to be that person, to be the custodian of all band property and take the best care of it I can for the interest of the future of our children. We've got a lot of nice stuff and a lot of nice opportunities. We can do this if we just start to move forward. Things are sitting aside a little while. Since 1991, we've had 2 chief executives, and that's it. 2 choices. This is your chance to pick that choice of a different one and make things move. How much time I got? It's always quick to show me that till they want to look. The other part was services down here when I asked about that, you know. My family comes down here and gets services, whether it's treatment or whether it's just services in general. They just got to be better. The treatment centers are a little bit slow, or our contacts to the treatment centers are slow. When my daughter can do it faster than a whole team of people, you know something's up. And she can do it herself and pick up the phone and say, Dad, in 3 days I can find some place to be. I've been waiting 2 weeks. Now, that's a one-sided story, but I'm just saying, she made the effort, it was possible. I want to be the person to be there for you guys to help do that. And like I said, I'd have an office down here, and I'll come down here, and I'll sit in that office, and I'll be there, and that office will be open. Nobody will be shoving you away from that door. I'll be here, I want to listen to it, I want to look at the housing problems, and I want to look at the homelessness. See why people are winding up homeless. I want them to come and tell me why. There's got to be a reason. But at least if you can come and tell somebody why, you can start working on figuring out how to finish the job and do it right. It's been 12 years, that list is getting pretty long on housing right now. It's 350 people. That's a pretty big list. We got to get it moving, got to change it, make it better. It's antiquated, we have to move faster. And she had me stop. Thank you.
Up next, Carolyn Bolio.
All right, thanks again, everyone, for coming out tonight. What I didn't mention in regards to housing as well is I know that, you know, the band's got a lot of money in long-term savings, and then maybe after that audit's done, we can figure out how much of that money we can invest down here, maybe purchase some homes for rentals, an apartment complex for band members to move into, that type of thing, but we can certainly do more with housing for everyone. I know that we do fund 8 units down here right now through community development. When I was Secretary Treasurer, I talked to the commissioner and we were asking them to increase that program to help more band members out, but nothing was done. So I had tried in the past to help out with housing issues down here, but it went nowhere. Let's see, employment again. We have businesses down here in which we could be more proactive in recruiting our band members to work and manage. And as Chief Executive, I would make sure that that was happening all across the board. Services, we do have the urban office down here that offers some limited services, DOL and information, but I think we need our own band community center down here where we can house those programs, make them easier access, as well as have spaces for meetings and other things, maybe even an urban powwow every now and then. That would be great. So we need our own building. Another important thing I didn't hear talked about too much is maintaining per capita. Right now we use more than that percentage approved in the Ratford per cap, and it's not been amended. We were working on that before I left band assembly back in 2018, and we actually came to a consensus on what that should look like. But now I see it's been sitting on the agenda for the last 2 years. I would get in there, work with those other elected officials to make a decision on that revenue allocation plan to make sure the money is going to where we need it. Corporate commission. Per cap also depends on what the corporate commission is earning. And I know for a fact that the revenues have been going down and then they tapered off, and we're not making any more money. We need to come up with better amenities that attract previous customers and new customers at our businesses, and they need to do better at food quality, customer service, cleanliness. I walk into some of our businesses, sit down for lunch, and the food just isn't good. We need to focus on that kind of thing. People don't want to come to 2 hours drive to the casino to have a meal that's not worth it. So we just need to do better at our amenities and our upkeep of our casinos. So as Chief Executive, I'd make sure that those things are happening. I have a responsibility to do that. As Chief Executive, you see all the commissioners, you see Community Development, Health and Human Services, Department of Natural Resources, Corporate Commissioner, and Education. They have a duty to make sure those commissioners are respecting band members' rights and providing services that actually make a difference. And if something ain't done, or if it's done wrong, they should be held accountable for that. Right now, when a band member goes and complains about a commissioner or a program, it goes nowhere. As chief, I'll make sure that your complaints are at least addressed.
Please hold your applause again, y'all. Up next, Melanie Benjamin.
Again, thanks for coming out tonight. And I think what's really positive about this meeting when we look at things that we can all talk about the negative things that are going on, but we have people up here that are running for office. Somebody works at the casino, somebody works at a housing board member, you have past secretary treasurers that have been in the position, and so the opportunity to move forward in a positive way is huge. And again, when we look at our services that we have at the Mille Band, we have a service for every issue that there is on the reservation. And the reason we have all those services is because the band members ask for those. But now the issue is, how do we get the band members there to utilize the services in the best possible way? I took a band member out to Utah for a treatment. They were going out there and they took them out of town. That was like one of the hardest things to do, to be able to go with someone that's addicted to drugs, take them away from home, but for the good in the long run. So there's a lot of those things that are going on. And all the housing, and if you see a boarded house on the reservation, there's a reason for that, is because they're protecting the house until another person can go in, or that house can be renovated, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And so hopefully when we have our band members that are on the housing board, at the casino, that they also listen to these issues and make sure as part of their job that to move forward with those. And so we have a housing board and we have the community development, and hopefully that they can work together as we move forward to really solve our problems. And we have a lot of them. But we also have a lot of successes in terms of how people have decided to utilize education to come back to the reservation to work. And you'll hear about people that, oh, I applied for a job, but I didn't get hired. And I wonder why, because maybe like right now there's a pool of 10 band members applying for a job and one gets the job. But what are we gonna do about the other 9? Hopefully we can find a place for them too, because we really need each and every one of yous to really make the Mille Lacs Band more successful, more accountable to the members, making sure that you all have benefits that you can use to make your life better, your families better, and that's always the goal. I have many, many community meetings, elder meetings, all kinds of meetings throughout the year to hear your input. And every time we come to the meeting, and when you tell me this is an issue, we take that issue and then put it into a program. So your voice needs to be heard on a regular basis. And we want to make sure that we do hear what you have to say and create programs to address the issue. Miigwech for coming out.
Coming up next, Tanya Abid.
Miigwech for everybody to coming out this evening, and it's a great place to be able to come and enjoy your company here with you. In my closing remarks, I would like to say that up where I live, where I got the pipeline and the mining corporations coming in, I just want to remind you that when either Enbridge or Polymet gets their little hooks in there and try to get that new replacement line coming through the territories over there, I just want to let you know that that opens the door up for them to put in 2-3 more corridors to replace those pipelines up there. So those are the things that I'm looking at in those territories. We rely upon our wild rice up there to be able to sustain us through our ceremonies and through all the things that we do as Anishinaabe people up that way. And what I would like to see is to be able to stop those things from happening up there, because when I look downstream, down this way, there's 18 million more people that are being affected by this. So those are the types of things that weigh heavily upon my mind. As far as like working together as the Mille Lacs Band has done and will be doing, you know, this is where we need to pull together and work as a team to be able to stop those things from happening, from encroaching upon these lands. I'd like to say again, miigwech for everybody, the candidates up here that have showed up. You know, this is gonna be something like kind of like that real world stuff. But anyways, miigwech, have a good day.
All right, timer, you ready? Up next, Ron Davis.
I have so much information on this book, I just can't put it down. You know, I'm going to speak from my heart as much as I can, but I have to have these reminders. I've been a boxer for 17 years, so that's why it's kind of hard for me to remember these things. I was a 5-time Indigenous champion over the years that I fought. I'm a published poet. I got a poem in the National Library of Congress that was printed, and it's in a book called Between the Raindrops. most of what I want to talk about and what's going to help us progress as an Ojibwe nation is my wanting to protect our sovereign rights. You know, and that's for me. I'm going to be there to fight for that. Right now, what's going on is these city and state and county cops are infringing on our sovereign land, and they're coming in and they're arresting us for some of these, you know, small crimes, you know, and part of what's wrong with that is they're tearing apart our family unit. And there's a man by the name of Karl Marx that said to have true communism, one must take away those people's land rights, then you must break down their family unit, and you must take away their religion. What does that sound like? It sounds like the United States government is what that sounds like, but it's under democracy that they changed their name. You know, so they've done that to us. So what I'm gonna stop is this infringement on our sovereignty, and I'm gonna redraw our lines, redefine what makes us our people, and the way that we're going to progress into the future and be Anishinaabe, the way we're supposed to be, the way we're supposed to walk, the way we're supposed to hold our heads high and be proud of one another. And that comes from the heart. Miigwech.
All right, miigwech to all the candidates for Chief Executive. This concludes the Chief Executive portion. Let's give them all a round of applause. Want to make sure I see some likes and thumbs up for the live streamers, all that good stuff. We'll take a quick 10-minute break now, and we'll organize to get ready to bring the District 1 representatives. Thank you again. Quick 10 minutes break. Just want to remind everybody, if you haven't had a chance, there are still note cards and pens in the back for questions for the District 1 reps. Please take some time, label District 1, and throw it in the box in the back. You'll have till the end of opening statements from District 1 reps to submit a question. Okay. Just put 2 on each side. Maybe. Won't start without you, Jackie. Don't worry. Plus, the live stream guys aren't here anyway. Oh, you're right there. All right, 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Please wrap up any conversations you have going on. If you have a friend outside, bring them back in. We're going to start here in about another 1 minute, 42, 41, 40. I won't count down. Just kidding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started. At this time, I'm going to introduce the candidates for District 1 representative. Candidates, as I announce you, please come up and join me up front. These are in no particular order. Valerie Charissa Sam Harrington, Nicholas Ryan Shaw, Virgil Otis Wind, sorry, I combined those two. Ginger Yvonne Wias, and Sandra Lee Blake. All of these candidates signed in prior to, so we will have all their names in a basket in the back. Can I ask for a volunteer to draw names out of the basket? Remember, as a volunteer, you get applause. All right, stand up, wave your hand. Right here in the red. All right. I got to write names down. Hang on. Or, go. All right, let's everyone give our name drawing volunteer a round of applause. Woo, 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 woo. All right. The order we're going in is Virgil Wind, Nicholas Shaw, Sandra Blake, Ginger Wias, Valerie Harrington. Candidates, you will each receive 3 minutes to make your opening statements. At this time, I would like to bring up Virgil Wind.
Here we go. When does the timer start? Right now. Well, welcome. First off, my name is Virgil Wind. I'm a proud band member. I've been a contractor and entrepreneur my whole life. Proud band member of District 1 my whole life, since I was adopted at 4 years old, I guess. You're a beautiful crowd, right? We're a beautiful crowd. I'm happy to be here tonight. I'm honored to be here tonight. Mille Lacs Band, my people, my family, my passion. I'm glad to be here tonight. More than anything down here in urban, I'm here to learn. I'm country mouse in the big city tonight, and I need to know what your needs are. I need to know how we can help you. I need to know, what we need to do as leaders to help what's going on down here. In the last couple of weeks, I visited with many band members, and one thing that was common was, as band members, we've become okay with just being okay, right? And as leaders, that shouldn't be okay with us. Leadership should always reflect how we're feeling as band members. Leadership should always reach out and try to empower us as band members. We need to thrive. We need to thrive and not survive. When I was brought up by the old ones, my grandparents, and they taught me a lot about respect, about love, a lot about hope. And I believe that as a band, we could, the sky's the limit. I do have the utmost respect for all prior leadership. And thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for all that you do. It takes a lot to stand up here and say, you know what, I'm willing to take some hits. I'm willing to represent the band. That being said, though, sometimes you get to a different, that sign is distracting. Sometimes to get to a different destination, we need to take a different path. We need a different driver of the vehicle. It's kind of like dealing with my old lady. The world's cruel. As soon as we find out the answer to a question, she changes it, and so does the world. And as leaders, we got to be constantly evolving, constantly trying things new. With that being said, we got to change with it. We got to change with the world. We got to change with the needs of the people. Wow, 30 seconds. Are we happy with where we are? Do we know where we're headed? What are our needs? What is our plan to get there? And most importantly, if we're not constantly adjusting and all we're doing is watching problems get bigger than we can handle it, and that's where we're at right now. As leaders, we need to be a lot more proactive, a lot less reactive. Thank you.
Up next, Nicholas Shaw.
Ready? Hey everyone, I'm Nick Shaw. Grew up in District 1, but I still live there right now. I live there with my wife and our 3 daughters, soon to be 4. I am the son of Mike Shaw and Carolyn Bolio. Yes, that one. I'm college educated. I have a bachelor's degree in marketing and management. I also have been working for the tribe for 15 years, since I was 14 years old. I never really wanted to run for office, I guess I can say. But recently I've been just thinking, I was like, there's so much more that we could do. And like Virgil said, leadership's been great. But Sandy's been in for 16 years, and maybe it's time for a change. Not saying she's doing bad, but, just saying maybe it's time for some new leadership. I want to bring, our community together more, have more events and stuff like that, create more possible jobs with improving safety with the community and all that, but that's just up in D1. Right now I'm in urban, which I don't know too much about. As I said, I grew up there, and you don't want to hear about D1. You want to hear about how I'm going to help you out. And here, listening to what the chief candidates were talking about, it seems like the main problems down here are jobs, homelessness, all that stuff. And I think the main thing right now is we really don't have anyone down here from the D1 office who you can go talk to. Does anyone from, who can I speak to? So for me, I would just hire someone so you can have someone to speak to every single day. I would make it my mission to come down here twice a week, so you have me to talk to. So I'm here to represent you. Other than that, I just look forward to get to know you guys a little bit better, answer your questions, and hopefully, make a positive impact on you. Thank you.
Up next, Sandra Blake.
Bonjour, Gakina, Wia. Misquaniquaduque, Indigenous Cause. Mino Sandra Blake in Dugu. I've been married to my husband, Benji Blake, for 43 years. I was born and raised on the reservation. We had three children. I have a son and a daughter, Maxwell Blake, and my daughter, Rochelle Blake. I lost a son recently through terrible trauma in District 1, and it all ties in with the opioid epidemic and the addictiveness that we have in our community. So this is close to my heart that I want to remain in this office because I'm not done working yet. I have a lot more to do in making our communities safe and our families safe. It's been a great honor and a privilege to serve you as your district representative for the past 16 years. With your support, I'll continue to work for you, your family, and all of the band members that are from District 1. I've always been fair and truthful and trustworthy and impartial in carrying out the duties of the office which I hold. I've proven my leadership through experience that you can count on, and in working closely with all of our other government officials, elected officials and appointed officials, in supporting our community and our band government and compromising and working together and getting things done. I understand that the hardships that families and individuals face on a basic basis through my own personal experience and trauma. And in times of emergency, I'm there for you, and I've been there for the community. When I get requested, I do a lot of help in the community with people that need help. As your district representative, I've served 4 full terms. I've worked with 4 secretary treasurers, 5 district representatives, and many band commissioners. I've proven my ability to work with other elected appointed officials. My style of leadership is one of Manandain Demowen, respect, Gwekwadaziwin, honesty, Debwewin, truth, Minwa Akwadewin, bravery and courage. I'm very approachable by community members, and I'm humble in my service to you, and I've always been. I have experience that you can count on. Some of the noteworthy projects that I've worked on in the community was Mino Bimadazi when bringing a homeless shelter to District 1. I'm very proud to say that I was part of developing the Elder Supplemental Income Program, and that provides income for our elders. We're always supposed to take care of our elders, and I'm proud to say that I was a part of that. I have a firm understanding of our band financials, the revenue allocation plan, our financial investments and investment policy, our long-term savings. Miigwech.
Please hold applause till the end. Up next, Ginger Wios.
Another short person. Ani and Buju, Diganaga Bawikwe Indigenikas, Ginger Wias Indude, or Ginger Wias my name is Ginger Wias. I'm Biju clan, Biju and Dudame. I'm from Mississauga, Ning, and Dunjaba. I have always been a long-term, lifelong member of District 1. I was there before the casinos. We lived on the land where the casino is currently at. We were there, we were poor, we needed, but we had our families. We had our families always together with us. And that's the one thing that I feel as a Anishinaabe woman, that we need to keep our families together. And I as your District 1 rep, would work with the executive branch to work on getting those families reunified. We have over 300 children in out-of-home placement, and that hurts me, and it has to hurt you guys. How many people here have children or families affected by this, getting your children out of home placement? I do, and I'm also a foster care provider for my grandson. I was not going to let any of my children or my grandchildren be put into the foster care program because I felt that I would lose my family. And that hurts me a lot. And it's all because of this opioid crisis. And I see the homelessness in our community. It's boarded up. We have families that are moms and dads that are coming back from treatment and in recovery, and they've got the strength and they have the willpower and they want to get into those homes. They want to be able to work for our tribe, and they can't. Because what? We have a background check policy. We have all these different things within our tribe that puts our people down. As Anishinaabe people, we are one people, right? We're human beings first. And we need to get those people, we need to help our people to be able to be, powerful, independent, working. I have a lot of issues that I wanted to deal with in District 1, and that is helping the recovery community, family preservation, getting public transportation within our communities. We shouldn't even be able to pay taxes on our per caps. Who all pays taxes on your per caps and your tax levels go up? Me too. I am sick and tired of our tribe. When they built the casinos, they didn't say we're going to give you money, but we're going to tax you. All right, miigwech.
All right, at this time, we're going to ask the candidates to please go back to the sequestering room. Oh, I did this last time too. I apologize. Up next, Valerie Harrington.
Thank you. Good evening. It's an honor to be here tonight. Miigwech for listening to me and the other candidates. Anin Dibakwe Indigenakaz Magizian Dudame. My name is Valerie Harrington, and with respect and humility, I'm running for the position of District 1 representative. I'm engaged to Dan Wynn Jr. Jointly, we have 3 children, Mariah, Caitlin, and Kevin, and we have a granddaughter. Her name is Mille. My parents are Kimberly Sam and Brad Harrington Sr. My grandparents are Roberta Davis, Leonard Sam, Agnes Pendegayash, and Hoyt Harrington. My great-grandparents are Mr. and Mrs. Starry and Frank Skinaway. I have lived on the reservation my entire life. I graduated from Onemia High School. I received my AA degree from the from Central Lakes College. I received my bachelor's degree from the College of St. Scholastica. I majored in business management and I minored in accounting. I received my master's degree from the University of Minnesota in tribal administration and governance. I have been a dedicated, hardworking employee for our tribe, and it has been an honor to work, to learn, and to represent our tribe in youth services, small business development, energy emergency assistance. I was financial specialist in child support enforcement. My most recent experience is Chief Communications Officer with the legislative branch. I am a Native Nation Rebuilder, Cohort 10, #BID. I serve as Tarot Commissioner. I'm co-chair for the Women Empowering Women in Indian Nations chapter. I'm a treasurer for Red Brick. I fully support people seeking recovery, and I'm a member of Sober Squad. I take pride in being supportive of other people. I have a passion for our community, and I attend many local, state, and federal meetings. I love the success of our Native people empowering each other. I am dedicated to my community, and I grew up attending ceremonies and learned the cultural practice for each season. The importance of culture and language is vital. This education and experience are not only what I can bring as a candidate. I'm running for District 1 representative to help and give back to our tribe. I grew up in Mille Lacs and witnessed the transition to where we are today. I have always wondered how I can give more back to the community. And the best way is to serve the people, and it's time for a new generation of leaders to step up. Strong leadership means a secure future for our next 7 generations. It's time for a change. I want fairness in our government for District 1, urban, and all of our tribal members. And I want to encourage other people to be leaders and create more strong leadership in our community. Miigwech.
Again, my apologies. At this time, we will take an estimated 10-minute break to organize questions from the audience for the District 1 candidates. Candidates, if you'll please join, I think Sheena's back there in the sequestering room. We have our question volunteers still here to help. All right, everyone take 10. As we're waiting for the questions to come back, I just want to remind people there are evaluations on the back table. Like I said, I know that's not everybody's favorite thing to do, but if you could grab an evaluation, fill it out, make sure to remind me I forgot someone again. But it really helps us improve this process for the next time. So if you do have some time, please grab an evaluation and fill it out. Thank you.